start doing some videos on this channel, I think. I want to start planning some things to do for it. I excuse the tree in the background. I know it's only November, but I wanted to put a Christmas tree up anyway, because I love Christmas. Yeah, that and also the noise. There's like noisy people in the background and my microphone's broken, my external microphone. So this is going to have to be it for now. So if you can hear some echoes, you know what it is. But basically today I wanted to talk about a personal experience that I've recently gone under, which was surgery to actually have a nose job. I had it done on the 29th of October, which has been, is it just over 3 weeks I think? Yeah, so it's not really that long since I've had it done, but as you can tell I'm fully healed and ready. But I'll show you what my previous nose looked like, as weird as that sounds, and I'll show you what it looks like now just in an image. It's harder to tell from here obviously, but it's a lot straighter. So basically I just wanted to maybe give some people maybe some advice, or just tell you my story, so maybe you can decide whether you want one, or if you're sort of having a bit of a, I don't know whether to go through with it, I'm a bit scared. I was just hoping this might help. I was a bit unsure whether to do this video because I don't want people to get the impression that it's something they should do, or they should get cosmetic surgery if they've got imperfection, anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say, because you know, everyone is beautiful in their own right, but it was just a personal thing that I really wanted to get done. I can't say I've ever been bullied over it. There's been odd comments here and there in the past, maybe at school, little nicknames and things like that. So I was never particularly down, but I was a bit, if I looked in the mirror from the side, I was always very conscious, or if I had photos done, so I was even trying to look for photos before from a side view, and I can't find hardly any images because I clearly was so sort of subconscious, in my subconscious, not having photos from the side, because I didn't want people to see my profile. And I also sort of hid it with my hair, having big voluminous hair, or back in the Scene Kid days I had like a fringe, a big giant side fringe. So yeah, so that was sort of the reason I wanted to get it done. But please don't get it done if it's something that's really upsetting you, as in you're being bullied over it or anything like that, anything cosmetically that you wanted to get done. Please think about it seriously. It's not something to just sort of quickly make a decision over. I've been thinking probably about this since about the age of 13, and I'm now 22. First sort of step I went through was finding a consultant and a surgeon to get it done with. It was, I only actually went to see 2 consultants, but the one I went with I just preferred more. He was my sort of person. I had to go with someone I felt more comfortable with. He was a bit more laid back, a bit more jolly sort of, but in a way, but he was still at the same time he was very serious about his job, and he was, in my opinion, the most important thing, he was very honest. And he told me that basically he wouldn't have hesitated in me getting it done, because it was something that I really had wanted done for so long, and he could see what the problem was, and he analysed it all, and he just knew exactly straight away what I wanted doing. But obviously you have very biased family and friends, and boyfriends, girlfriends, who will be like, oh, but you're beautiful and it's going to change who you are and it's going to change your characteristics. But to me, mine actually hasn't changed especially my front profile that much. I look at it and I still think this is me, and that's what my surgeon wanted. He still wanted the essence of me. He didn't want to change that. He just wanted to get rid of the hump that I had on it. So basically I went to him and he told me I needed a septorhinoplasty, which was to align the septum and also to shave off the bump that was there. And that's basically what I had done. So I was really nervous at first, because obviously there's a lot of complications, well, can be a lot of complications, not always and very rarely. Just things like, obviously it's going to change completely the way you look, they said. Mine hasn't really. They said it was completely going to change the way you look. It's going to sort of, you might not necessarily be happy with it in the end. It might not be perfect, it might not be what you had ideally in your mind. There's also things like getting little hemorrhages under the skin. There was also something called a deviated septum that you could get, which is like a hole through your septum. So there was a few complications there could be, but luckily mine was all successful. And I was amazed by the process of it. For me, it was a very, very successful process. Before I went to surgery, I was very nervous to go in for general anaesthetic and to be put under, because I'd never been put under before. That was a very nerve-wracking experience. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what it's going to be like. I was worried I wouldn't wake up and all that, things that are just stupid that go through your mind. Didn't know if I was allergic to it, so you just don't know, but they're very, very trustworthy people, so I put a lot of faith in them, and they were amazing, the doctors and my surgeon. So I went under and everything was fine. I woke up very, very happy, clearly on a lot of morphine, I think, whatever they put through you, and it made me really happy. So I was like thanking everyone, being like, thank you so much. And I felt great, to be honest. There was no pain, there was literally no pain at all. I wasn't swollen or even bruised. I was completely fine, to be honest, just very blocked up, because your nose it depends actually, some surgeons do it differently. Some surgeons do it under local anaesthetic as well. But I had it under general anaesthetic, and I also had packing put up my nose, so basically that was in for 5 days, which meant you can't really breathe through your nose. Well, you can't breathe through your nose at all, so you just have to breathe through your mouth, it's not too bad. I was a bit worried because I thought I'm quite claustrophobic, and I was worried that would be like, not worried that I wouldn't be able to breathe and go into a bit of a panic. But I was completely fine, and you just get used to it after a while, and you just have to make sure you've always got a drink, because you've got to get a very dry mouth, breathing through your mouth all the time. So I was really lucky, no bruising, no swelling, bits of swelling, and I'll still even have bits of swelling now. I think my nose will still change from this now, because it can take 6 months to fully develop into the shape it will, but I'm still really happy with it even now. The only sort of issue I had was with nausea, and I don't know whether that was the anaesthetic that sort of developed afterwards, or I also got put on really strong antibiotics to fight any infection that could, develop with having the procedure done. So I had to take them, but I'm not usually very good with antibiotics anyway, and they usually make me feel generally quite sick. And I also have a phobia of sick, so that kind of sent me into a panic. So that was the only thing that I was really unhappy with, and I was a bit down the first week. But I ended up reducing my antibiotic dosage and just taking it for a longer period of time to stop me feeling so sick. And then once I also got the packing out, that made me feel loads better. After 5 days I got that taken out, so I could breathe again, and it was a very strange feeling at first. And that wasn't getting the packing out, I will admit, it wasn't the most pleasant experience. It did sort of feel like your brains were going to fall out. It didn't hurt though, it was just like a sucking sensation coming out your nose. And then I think it was a week, was it 10 days? I think it was 10 days later I had the actual cast, because I had a cast like moulded round it as well, and I had that taken off sort of to show the final reveal. But yeah, so that was basically it really, and after that he just said you don't have to come for another 6 months, so it was a very easy procedure. I found it personally quite an easy process, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder, and I think because I was quite nervous before that it was going to be a hard procedure, that it was actually a lot easier than I thought, because I was anticipating the worst. And also I would advise anyone, if you want to go through with it, or you're considering any sort of cosmetic surgery, I would say don't imagine what it's going to look like beforehand. I mean, you have all these apps on your phone that can do cosmetic surgery, you can change the shape of your nose and do all these. I did it as a bit of a joke, but I knew in my head, I said, it will not look like this, because you just know it won't. You have to prepare yourself for it to not look like perfection or what you think you want it to look like, because it won't look like that. You can never know what it will look like until it's finally done. So, and even now, what I think it looks like now, it probably won't even look like this in another 4 months' time. So, and I'm hoping it will thin out here, because if you can see, I don't want it to go blurry, but yeah, it's a bit fatter than what my old nose was actually like, but I'm presuming that's just because it's still relatively quite swollen. But from the side, it's a lot straighter here. And he has like, he brought the tip up just a little bit, but that bit's still very swollen as well. And because they cut from underneath, I never even talked about how they did it. It's probably not for everyone, but they basically cut underneath this bit and lift it up. And they also made a little incision at the side here, where they probably put a little tool in or something. I don't really actually know the full, because I know a lot of people like to know exactly what happens during the surgery and how it works. And people even watch videos online to, I just thought, just do it, just go for it and hope for the best. Yeah, so all I know is that he went from underneath and from the side to align back my septum, and also then to shave off the underneath. He'd have pulled it up and then sewed it back together. But yeah, so that's really about it. So if anyone has any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer anything that comes up. But I just wanted literally just to tell my story really, and hopefully put other people at rest, because I know a lot of people worry about complications and things like that, and seeing things go wrong, and I never hear of many like the most successful stories, and mine was, to me, very successful, because it was just an amazing experience, because I had no bruising, no swelling, no nothing. And you see some other people, some of the girls who I was in contact with over Instagram, who had it done at similar times, some of them came out with bruising. So also don't expect that yours is gonna, if you ever wanted to get it done, that yours would be as successful as mine has been. Because every surgeon works differently, and my surgeon told me he froze the top of my head, so I think that's really the reason it didn't bruise so much. But every surgeon does it differently. Like I said, some don't put packing in, some do. Some people end up with covered in bruises, but you know, they can take about 3 weeks to go down. I was just very lucky. That's all I can really say. Thank you for listening, and hope you enjoyed my little rant about my nose job, my rhinoplasty, and maybe in videos to come you'll see the development of how it changes even more. But yeah, thank you very much.